Hey, how y'all doing? Danland Pro here. 100 videos in 100 days. You can find me at youtube.com, Webmaster Dan or Danland Pro. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button. Hey, this is 100 videos in 100 days, episode 93. Now, have you ever been driving and seen these flashing lights? Or you seen this particular roadblock and you know exactly what this is, right? You know it's a sobriety test. And the first thing you think about, you raise up in your seat and you realize you just came from that wedding reception or that special event and you had a taste or two and you're hoping you up legal limit and won't find yourself in trouble. I know the feeling, been there, done that. Here's the deal. The reason for sobriety tests is because they want to make sure that you are not operating a motor vehicle where you can harm someone or yourself under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or some mood-altering substance that may impair your ability to operate that vehicle. I think in some cases we need a sobriety test for other things. For example, hate. Wouldn't it be cool if we had a sobriety test to make sure that you're not intoxicated off of hate before you get to run around society and come up with crazy ideas as far as those you think are threatening that's not threatening? Have you ever drank? I mean, everybody don't drink and everybody don't get high. But for those who understand what I'm saying, you know if you drink enough, you'll start thinking stuff. You ever seen a person intoxicated off alcohol? 1 minute they crying, the next minute they laugh, and the next minute, I mean, they call it spirits for a reason because it has you messed up. And the more you drink, the crazier it gets. And it's the same with drugs. I mean, if you smoke weed or enough weed, you start figuring out why the sun shine and why the moon shine. And then the people that's smoking with you, y'all find yourself engulfed in a conversation about something as crazy as how many stars do you really think it is? Yeah, just way out there. And this is just those two. This is just alcohol and drugs. Now start adding sports in there and religion in there and some of the other things people are intoxicated off of at times. There's a limit to everything. And that's why it says be of sober mind. So whether it's politics, whether it's religion, whether it's finances, education, etc., even substances, you gotta be a sober mind. You gotta understand what's going on around you. And really, they need some of these roadblocks now, not just for alcohol and drugs and operating a vehicle. They need some people to get a sobriety test just to be walking around now. And all you got to do is look around and you'll see the need for it. See, even with religion, I question sometimes. I'm like, how can you be so tripped out on religion that you just put money in a hat or a bucket or whatever because somebody sounded religious? Somebody sounds spiritual. You don't know because you ain't picked up your Bible and read it. You ain't trying to interpret it. You want somebody to do it for you. How do you know? And the only way you know is you got to be a sober mind. And that's the same with politics. That's the same with anything. So when I get to the point of hate, and hate the way we seeing it, especially when a person tell me that people of African descent are threatening, man, I'm curious how you came up with that intel. We already know from what happens in most cases that they recon and the intel be off. It be real crazy, man. We know they intoxicated off some stuff that we don't even understand. For example, I'm an African American and I'm sure that we are not threatening to replace anyone, and that's a reality. A sober reality, because for one, we've been here 400 years and we had one black president and he was biracial. And I seriously believe if he hadn't been biracial, he wouldn't have been president. If you look at Congress, the numbers are very slim. If you look at the Senate, the numbers are very slim. If you look at the Supreme Court, the numbers are very slim. All the way down to your association in which you may live, where it's probably 95% African American. The power structure in that association is not people of African descent. So in everything that I just named, as far as the American institutions and them being intact and still in power, or some threat for you to replace, it's ridiculous. You cannot even be of a sober mind to even consider that a threat. Seriously. Black, white, green, and yellow. And then I'm going to say this, because this is necessary in order for you to think of a sober mind. See, I'm not finna argue critical race theory with you or some educational curriculum to tell you about the history of the atrocities of the African American experience. I'm gonna give it to you raw with no chaser. See, it's not just black and white. The African American experience, as far as people of African descent on a global level, it's not black and white. Now, you may make it black and white in America, but on a global level, everybody took part in chattel slavery. Everybody oppressed the continent of Africa. Everybody. They carved it up like a pie. Now, do you really think it was just the European and the African sitting there? This half for you and this half for me. No. They carved that sucker up like a pie. And some of them still got a piece of their pie. But you walk around in this illusion of not a sober mind, thinking it's black and white. Just like religion, you think it's just good and bad. There's no variables in between. Men and women just stay married or not. They just decide to be married or not. We don't consider that a dude was beating her butt every week. That's why she divorced him. She didn't want to go against God, but she was tired of those butt whoopings. You see what I'm saying? Be a sober mind, man. Get that revelation as that revelation exists. And you only going to get that revelation if you're a sober mind and think about it. But some of us, just like these roadblocks they got to have. It's wrote down in the book. If you pick up the rules of the road, it's right there. Don't drink and drive. They got it plastered up on signs. They got it flashing across all type of stuff. But guess what? You got somebody every day that just feel like they can pull it off. They can pull it off, regardless of all the statistics, all the numbers, all of the things to let them know, all of the roadblocks, all the sobriety tests. I can get away with this. And that is the same way some people are with hate. I can take this, I can consume this, I can overconsume this and just operate like normal. Give you the impression that I'm normal. And guess what? If you're not a sober mind, you really think that person normal. You really think there's some logic or some rationale behind that behavior. Have you ever tried to figure out why a drunk act like a drunk act or a drug addict act like a drug addict act? Yes, it's a sickness. And those behaviors are symptoms of that sickness, but however, those behaviors are real. And that's why when you drink too much, you crying one minute, laughing another minute, you philosophical the next minute, you're 100 people in one sitting. And same with drugs. See, these are results of consuming too much of that. Now, everybody know hate exists in America. You'd be a damn fool to think that it doesn't when it's all around you. Why do you have so many separate neighborhoods? It's a reason for that. Don't nobody want you in they mix. The bottom line is that this country needs a roadblock. They need sobriety tests to make sure that people not operating in ways that will hurt them or others because they're intoxicated or something. They're under the influence of something. We just need to start understanding that alcohol and drugs are not those only influences anymore. Hey, my name is Dan Lampo. 100 videos in 100 days. Find me at youtube.com. This is episode 93, Sobriety. Till next time. Hey, hit that like and that subscribe button. Peace.